Welcome to DevOps Days 2024/2023. Happy Halloween to those who celebrate. I don't live in Tel Aviv, so I haven't celebrated Halloween since I was a kid. My name is Liz. I'm the jack of all trades at Chetz Ventures. We're an early stage VC in Tel Aviv, investing in Israeli companies like DevOps companies, engineering, dev tools. You'll see some of our portfolio companies out there. Quick shout out to Velocity, who has a booth in the hall, Wilco, who's taking over our booth this morning, and Runhouse, who's taking over our booth in the afternoon. So go say hi, pick up some swag. Okay. I just want to say for a second how grateful I am to be here. And if you've been here before and you're waiting for 2023, I'm sure you feel the same. This is my favorite tech event and community in Israel. And believe me, I have run major conferences here, and this is my favorite. Don't tell my old company. But I am really, really happy to be here after the year we've had and are still experiencing. But for this day and yesterday, I think we can be pretty grateful and positive that we get to sit here and be together as a community again. I don't want to take up too much time. The point is the content, so we're going to keep going. Okay. So as you may have realized, if you did the math, last year in 2023, we would have celebrated 10 years of DevOps Days Tel Aviv. I think the biggest DevOps Days in the world, or maybe I'm making that up. It started in January 2013, hosted by Microsoft. It turned into DevOps Tel Aviv pretty quickly that September, and it has been 10 years of this amazing gathering. Now we get to enjoy all the different tracks and events that happen at the same time. The Cloud Native, that was yesterday, the Statscraft, that's today. Just a whole bunch of stuff going on today, and I'm going to get more into it as we go on. But just a quick note that none of this is possible without the community, the people that are here, the people who organize this, who are all volunteers, who we're going to meet one by one in a second, and of course, our sponsors who back us, support us, and provide us with food and coffee and presents and raffles all day. So we're going to do a real quick thank you to ScyllaDB. This is our diamond sponsor. And if you ever had this feeling like you wanted to cuddle with a big blue mascot, go right into the exhibition hall, and there is one sitting on a chair. And they didn't tell me you could cuddle it, but I'm assuming you can cuddle it if you need a hug. But they've also got prizes and swag and all kinds of stuff going on. They have a demo theater, so make sure you check them out throughout the day and say thank you. We're also going to say a big, big thank you and shout out to RTFM, please, my favorite acronym of all time, who powers this entire community, frankly, all of it, the event, the community, everything. Our platinum sponsors, who we are going to shout out, and feel free to cheer them on: Linear B, Couchbase, AWS, and Global Dots. These are the guys that are also making this happen, powering this event. Not to mention our gold sponsors, yours truly included. Year after year, they come back, they support us, they provide us with things. You need to go around and see what's going on. There's swag being given out, prizes, there's all kinds of stuff we'll get into. Community sponsors, Draft, Jiv, Velocity, and LunarDev. We have community partners, and our food, swag, and goodies partners, which includes TLV Partners, who is powering our happy hour monster match later, which everyone's got to stick around for. There's a live band, food, drinks, maybe dress up a little bit, see what you can pull together. We're going to do that later on today. We'll speak more about that later. The workshops. So I am the type of person who needs to be hands-on. I learn better when I'm making mistakes, etc. That's why I like workshops so much. You can sign up for one of these workshops if there's still space. Check it out. You have to go to scan the QR code on the back of your tag and sign up for them in advance because there's limited space. So you can check out Commodores, you can check out Amazons. They're both going to be great. It's in the schedule. Make sure you sign up in advance. Also, shout out to our media partners. So Dev Interrupted graciously did all the promotion. You saw a lot of social media before this thing. That's how we get here, so we give them a thank you. And Israel Tech and the IAC podcast are kind of running around throughout the day, interviewing people, filming, asking questions. If you subscribe and follow them, you might see yourself in the follow-up videos that come out. So check that out. This is also extremely important because just like I think a lot of us like to learn by doing, we also like to see people doing in order to see what's real, what's not real, what's going on. So there's live demo theaters going out throughout the day. That's in the main exhibition hall as well. Big screen. You can check any of these guys out. It's all in the schedule, and we'll announce them through the day, but definitely worth taking the time to see some of that. I think most of them are actually during lunch, which is a great way to spend your time as you grab your food. So, as we know, we're celebrating 10 years of DevOps Day. We're going to get nostalgic for a second. We're inviting the core DevOps Tel Aviv team up to take us on a time warp through the last 10 years. Let's give them a big round of applause. Woo!
Awesome, thank you. All right, I don't really have much of a voice, but I don't want to skip this part. All right. So yes, like we said, this year we're celebrating 10 years of DevOps Days, and we want to thank, well, we don't want to thank ourselves. Hang on. Okay. In 2012, Nati Shalom was sitting, oh, come on up, Nati. Come, he's standing right over here. Our recipient of the Tech Excellence Award yesterday for outstanding work in our community, really a Lifetime Achievement Award. Nati and Uli started hearing this thing called DevOps. By the way, the first DevOps event was held in 2009 in Ghent, for those who don't know. But you know in Israel how we're early adopters, and we like to start things early. Nati and Uri were like, hey, we like this DevOps thing. We want to see how we make it into something bigger. And in January 2013, Nati's wearing the nostalgic first ever DevOps Con t-shirt. And we reprinted special edition shirts for this year. We have a 10th year reprint special edition. So stick around for happy hour. That's when we're giving them out if you loved this shirt and you missed it. But yes, at Microsoft in 2013, and we were 200 people then. And, you know, and then after, we made a lot of noise on social media because you see us, we know how to make noise. And the DevOps Days team from Ghent was like, hey, why don't you join us in the DevOps Days? And so in September 2013, we launched our first ever DevOps Days, and this was the founding team. It started with Nati and Uri, myself, Dor Laor, who's going to be doing some keynote words, Avishai, Ran Tavori, and Yoav, and Alon Becker, and Eliza Cohen, and that was our first ever event, and it was crazy. We had Ben Kepps as the keynote, and Ran Tavori on the stage, and I saw Pavel Suchman here yesterday, who did the no-ops talk. And we even had Stephen Nelson Smith, who was on the founding event, and he came back years later to do another keynote that was fantastic. He talked about burnout in our first event, and he came to talk about how he overcame the challenges of DevOps and burnout, which is like, is a problem, is a known problem. You know, we're all flooded with alerts and issues and stuff all the time, so I thought that was a really awesome way to close the circle. And we understood how much we loved this community and building this community, and we just saw it continuing to grow. And from there, we decided to launch a bunch of other stuff. Yes, go ahead, Nati, say a few words.
About the first conference. So, yeah, I think one thing that you missed is that this was the time in which you had your first born, the first child, yeah. And we were hosted in Microsoft, and Sharon, as you could see, she was energized even more than she is right now. And she even fell off the stairs. And that was kind of the amount of energy that she put into the event itself. So that was a day in which Uri had black hair, right? And I was 10 years younger. That's right. Yeah, exactly. So first of all, thank you very much, Sharon. I think one of the things that really, for me at least, is very powerful is really to see people that you work with grow much more than yourself. And you definitely took the challenge and made this community an event of open source. Really a thriving community. And I think, again, especially in these days where we ask ourselves, what can we do to the people around us. Again, especially in these days, I think creating such a community that enables entrepreneurs to collaborate, to build new companies, is a contribution of its own. Not everyone needs to be in the army, in the border. We can contribute a lot using those type of things, and definitely I think you're a major contribution to the community. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Nati. And I also want to give a special shout out to the people who make it possible behind the scenes now and before. And Hila Fish, who has taken up the challenge as well. Jeremy Asso has been with me for a whole 8 years, and they're going to say their own parts. And Eric Zadi, who's been at least for 5 years. All of these people, it takes a community. Nati and I started it, but then a bunch of really awesome people continued it with Dol as well. And this is where we evolved to. So, Jeremy.
Thanks, Sharon. So we started to gain steam, right? We started building out the DevOps community, and we realized there's a lot more community to tap into. And that's when we got involved in the OpenStack global community as well. And OpenStack, you guys remember it, lost a little bit of steam, but when at the time it was really the thing. It was something that brought a lot of new people into the fray. And we had an awesome team of practitioners from Red Hat, LivePerson, and other companies, including Arthur, including Dotan. Where are you, Dotan? Including Kobe Holzer. And they all joined forces, and we created this DevOps Days and Cloud Native Day as well after that. And we had Avner with us, Avner Algom. We had Florian with us. Shout out to Florian and Gal Sagi. And it was an amazing, amazing thing that happened. And we just keep growing and growing. And I joined in 2015 and haven't looked back since. So thanks for the opportunity, Sharon and Nati.
So, fast forward to 2015, we really understood that this community thingy works, and we wanted to expand it even more. So we started a new monitoring conference in Hebrew called Statscraft. And oh yes, now you hear hey. And so we started the Statscraft community, and it was amazing. We had so much good feedback, and people loved it. We were really overwhelmed about it. We also had a podcast for OpenStack with Kobe Holzer and Nati. Nati was there as well, and yeah, it was just so much fun. And Statscraft was with amazing people like Nir Cohen, Shachar Kedar Kaparalav, Nati Cohen, the other Nati Cohen, and yours truly, and it was just a blast. And this is a surprise slide. Yeah, well, we continued on, and it was just a blast.
We're going back to me. Guys, I mean, look, a lot of stuff happened. 2017, 2018, we started to see emerging technologies alongside OpenStack. Kubernetes? What's that? I mean, we had Docker. Remember Docker? Hey, everybody, Docker. And much more. And we decided to evolve the OpenStack community, our beloved OpenStack community, to cloud native and open source. And we made room in our growing hearts for every community. And when those communities start growing, we learned that it literally takes a community and new people that join from different teams. So Ariel Moskovich, who we spoke about yesterday as well, and every year we have an award, at least 2 awards, in honor of him and his name. And we had Gil Zellner, and Andre Bird, and John Zenu, and Daniel Berman, and the rest of the DevOps Days team at the time, and Liz. Woo! And added them to the Cloud Native and OSS TLV teams, and Elena Levy to Statscraft. So thanks everybody who joined from inside the team. Thanks to everybody here who continued to join us throughout all those wonderful, amazing years. And we had some, as you can see in the slides, some really amazing people who joined us for previous events. We had founders of Chef, we had Adam Jacob and Nathan Harvey, and we had Nicole Forsgren, and we had so many other amazing speakers, and we have prizes from back then, like you saw Kobe Holzer over there. So it was just an amazing, amazing experience, and it continued to grow and grow. And now, hand it off to Hila.
So, 2019 onwards, we are not stopping. While community takes a lot of effort, we learned that as our communities evolve and grow, so does the willingness of great folks in our community to contribute to keep it, making it awesome. And during COVID times, we had the time COVID, and we had to do our first ever virtual event summit. So the attendance at our virtual event even surprised us. We had nearly thousands of people tuning in and watching it online. So that was amazing. And then last year, as we all know, our event had to be canceled due to the circumstances. So while this is our technically 11th year, it's actually our 10th year anniversary for DevOps Days, and we are quite proud of it. So over the years, more folks have contributed for the conference and the community's success. Myself, Tal Kimchi, Roman Dan, Robert, Julia Lev, Michael, and another Michael, Eti, Or Cohen, and Boris Cherkassky, all to help support our awesome community. It's been quite a decade and a ride. We went from 200 people, okay, that's it, at our 2013 event, to 500 people at the halfway mark. And today, our event sees more than 10,000 attendees a day, okay? So it's a lot. Just for a reference here, AWS Summit has 10,000 people and Reversim has 2,000. So it is amazing how our community has grown. And the Tel Aviv community is now home to our leading DevOps communities in Israel, DevOps Days Tel Aviv, Cloud Native and Open Source TLV, Statscraft, where I was the co-chair of the conference when it was in Riskified offices, Production Jungle that was handed off to us from Ariel Moskovich, Serverless Nights, and the Big Web Theory.
So now, these are all of the beautiful faces of the people that have made this community possible over many, many years by the community, for the community. This is our community. If you see yourself on this slide, you come up to the stage right now and give all of these people a huge round of applause. Dolo, I see you. Come on up. Yada, Gil, everyone, if you're on this slide, give it a minute. Avishai, come on down. These are the people who over many, many, many years, Yada, center of the stage, have made this event possible. Let's do it. Come on in. Thank you so much to this awesome team. Woo! Yalla, עד 120 to our community.
Please wait. Stop. Stop.
Before you go,
Stop.
before we go, we have a little surprise. We have a little surprise that our main organizer didn't know about. Ooh. So, yesterday we had awards for Nati Shalom and Apple Seeds for their contribution to the community, but we couldn't let it slide just like that. We knew that we need to have one more award because Sharon Zitzman is a community pillar. She built this community mostly by her own, and she's also in the global DevOps Days in the entire, like there's a global community, international. She's there. She helps moving the entire community, not only in the one in Israel, but globally, internationally. So give a very big round of applause to Sharon. You don't know, really, you have no idea how much effort she puts in these conferences. In not only the conference, she makes like a quarterly event also to help keep the community alive, not only once a year, but even in a quarterly basis. She does so much for the community. She invests time, she invests money, okay? So please, please give her another round of applause. She deserves it.
And now, just one last thing, a huge thanks to the community, to the companies who have sponsored and funded this community over many, many years, have fostered and enabled it to happen. These are our top tier sponsors over many years. You don't understand how much money and effort they have invested, starting with Cloudify, who kicked it off and fostered it for many years. When I was at Apps Flyer as well, they enabled me to continue this community, which is not something small. Cider, who have been premier partners, ScyllaDB, who have taken that on this year and have continued the tradition. So I cannot say thank you enough to the companies who put the money behind making these communities possible, and it takes a community. So thank you very much. I'm going to welcome Liz back to the stage. I think we already met the team, so we can go through this part fast. But really, a huge thanks to everyone who has made this possible over many, many years.
Woo! Yes, we did just meet the team, but it's always worth seeing their beautiful faces again. The people behind 2024, let's not forget, there was a whole conference planned last year, and that was a lot of work as well. I'm just going to get a little serious for 1 second. The protocol for how we're going to handle any azakot today, according to Pikuda RF, is that we are going to, there is no place to run. We're just going to get on the floor like you do on Kvish Echad, if you're ever in that situation. That's the situation today. This is in accordance with the official protocol, so that is what we're going to do. So just FYI. We're going to give it now to Jeremy and Arthur for Open Spaces.
Welcome back, us. Okay, we can do this quick. We did it yesterday, quick. We'll do it today, quick. Open Spaces is an amazing thing that happens at all DevOps Days events. It brings people together, and they can talk about basically anything that's bothering them, anything that they want to feel like they're, moving forward with, whatever it is. And we have a format. People have a whiteboard by the registration desk. It says Open Spaces on it. Add your ideas. The whiteboard is going to be put in the Open Spaces room. That's room A4. You'll find that at the end of the hall outside here. There's 2 to 3 open spaces generally at a time. Yesterday we managed to get a couple in. We hope that we get a couple more this time as well. And preferably the person who writes down an idea should be there ready 12:45 today, I believe, or 12:30, 12:45, something like that. Around lunchtime, eat a little bit and then head into there. And the person who puts the topic in, go ahead and start the conversation. The open space will go as long as it goes. And when that topic is done, go to the next one and we just continue. So Arthur, give us the highlights.
All right. So again, as I mentioned yesterday, I think we are the chosen people, and because we are Ha'am Nivchar, there are some few ground rules for open spaces. All right? So the first rule of Fight Club is, oh wait, not that. So whoever comes to the open spaces are the right people. If you suggest a topic and you have interesting people in the room discussing topics, these are the right people for that discussion. The second rule is whatever happens, happens. If the discussion sways to a different direction, all right, that's a discussion. That's the right discussion, and that's what should happen. We are just, people discussing the topics. Next is whenever it starts, that's the right time. We have a bunch of topics. We're going to switch from topic to topic, and wherever discussion starts, that's the right time for that discussion. Next is when the discussion is over, again, it's over, and we're switching to the next one. And the last law, the last rule is the law of mobility, right? If you're feeling you need to be somewhere else, that's perfectly fine. You can get up, walk out. If you want to jump into the discussion, that's perfectly fine as well. You can just sit in and join the conversation. And the last and not least, bring your best self, right? And let's have fun. Thank you, guys.
Woo! Awesome. And this is a cute little drawing so everybody can see. It's kind of fun. I just thought I would add it in. Moving on. Last but not least, we have a leadership open space this year, which is a special new mini event that we're adding, and we hope to keep growing it. We already have, I think, about 20 to 30 people that have signed up. Feel free to scan the QR code. For managers and above who want to discuss bigger issues happening in your organization, VPs, etc., C-levels. We have Adi and Yishai with these topics that are written here, and they're awesome, and they're going to be talking in rooms A2, A3, that's the main hall from the foyer area, 1 o'clock to 2:30, so feel free to scan it. And if you didn't scan it on time, feel free to ask one of the staff people how you get it, and we'll happily let you sign up. So sign up, it's gonna be awesome, and we look forward to seeing everybody. Let's make it an awesome day. Woo!
All right, I don't know who was here yesterday. Who was here yesterday and got to participate? Yes, we had a very, very, very special memorial slash acknowledgement of what's going on and what has been going on since October 7th. We did take a few minutes to remember each and every one of our friends of the community who unfortunately were killed on October 7th. That includes Sefi, Ido, Roi, Gal, and Nir. We also acknowledged the Ariel Moskowitz Memorial as a DevOps Days organizer for years. And basically, if you weren't there, maybe there'll be like a video or something on YouTube. It's worth checking out. It was really, really important to keep this in our thoughts as we continue moving on. And with that, we're also going to mention the two Chatufim that are also part of our community who we're thinking about constantly and know we'll see soon. Yes, we have Avinatan Or from NVIDIA and Sasha Truvanov, who we do the Coffee for Sasha at 3:10. I think it's 3:10 or 3 o'clock today. We're all going to go out to the main room, drink a coffee for Sasha. We do this at every community event, and it will be here today as well. So let's not forget that this is part of it. And of course, we acknowledged the Ariel Moskowitz Memorial Award yesterday, which this year went to Nati Shalom for Lifetime Achievement Award and Appleseeds for their tremendous work that they do educating diverse communities in Israeli tech. Really important work. So yes. Okay, let's get to some business for today. So if you look down, and by look down I mean at the back of your tag, not at the floor, like a weirdo. We're gonna look at the back of the tag. There's a QR code. You scan it. There's a lot of information there. There's the agenda, which you can keep track of if you get bored of hearing me talk about it throughout the day. But more importantly, the real reason why you're here is there are raffles that you can join and hopefully win prizes by the end of the day. So at the end of the day, here on the main stage, we are going to conduct the Day 2 raffles. Our sponsors have all kinds of amazing prizes. If you were here yesterday, you got a big taste of that. Come back today for more. Make sure you enter. If you don't enter, you can't win, and you have to be here to collect. So enter at the link and come back to collect. That's around like 3:45, I think. The other thing that's really important to remember, because there's another chance to win prizes that's not a raffle, you have cards in the main hall. The cards have the logos of every booth at the conference. You go booth hopping, which is called crypt hopping this year because it's Halloween. You go to each booth, get them to stamp it, have a nice conversation with them, play it up, get that stamp. If you get all of your cards stamped, come at the end of the day to happy hour and get a little treat, get a prize. We're very serious about prizes here. Another serious thing for a second. We have a lot of horror stories going on today, but they're fun. They're DevOps oriented. We don't want any real life horror stories. If you feel you have been threatened or something uncomfortable or, whatever is going on amongst your day here at the conference, please find a staff member. If you need to raise it and bring it up, please feel free to find a staff member with a yellow tag. You can do it in private, you can sort it out, but we take the code of conduct very seriously and it's part of the conference policy. So if you're feeling unsafe or like something's going on that you're not comfortable with, please, we'll take care of it. Don't let it sit. We are here for you.